Hi, I am Ángel Esteban Rosalino Ubaldo, and my partner is,
Roberto Carlos Ramos López.
and today we are going to share about a scientist that we investigate about. So let's start with the presentation. We are going to present about the scientist Marie Curie. Marie Curie was a remarkable scientist whose work in physics and chemistry changed the course of the science in all the world. So let's start with her life. Well, she was born as Maria Skłodowska on November 7 in 1867 in Warsaw, Poland, which was then a part of the Russian Empire. Her parents were teachers, and they encouraged their children to follow education despite the political restrictions imposed in Polish people at that time. Curie was exceptionally bright and showed a passion for learning from a young age. However, due to the Russian restrictions, she had to move to another country to continue her studies. So she had to move to Paris. So she moved to Paris, where she studied in the University of Sorbonne, where she earned the degrees in physics and mathematics. Here was the place where she met her husband, Pierre Curie, a French physicist. Now, let's talk about their marriage and the discoveries that they made. Well, together, Marie and Pierre Curie began a researching of radioactivity, a term that they invent. Their work led to discovery of two new elements: polonium, in honor of the nation of Marie, and the radium, that they discovered few months later. Now, for this, they won a Nobel Prize, her first Nobel Prize. In the age of 1903, they shared the Nobel Prize in Physics with the Henry Becquerel, who had the first discovered radioactivity in uranium. Marie Curie was the first woman to receive a Nobel Prize, and this recognition opened doors for women in science all over the world. And then she had daughters with her husband. So Marie had two daughters, Irene and Eve. Irene followed their mother's footsteps and became a physicist. Later, she won a Nobel Prize by herself with her husband, Frederick Joliot Curie. On the other hand, Eve Curie became a writer and journalist, authority of the biography of her mother, called Madame Curie. Unfortunately, her husband died, the death of Pierre. After Pierre's tragic death in the age of 1906, Marie Curie continued their work, taking over his position at the Sorbonne, and became the first female professor at the University of Sorbonne. So she had to take the scientific work that they had undertaken by the rip of her husband. So, with all the effort she made, she won a second Nobel Prize. Her research into radioactivity and the radium's properties led her to win a second Nobel Prize in another different topic, this time in chemistry in the age of 1911. She became the first ever to win a Nobel Prize in two different scientific fields. This is amazing. And beyond her work in the laboratory during the Second World War, Marie Curie made significant contributions during this war. She developed mobile X-rays units to help doctors treat the soldiers on the battlefield. These mobile units were known as Petite Curies and were instrumental in the diagnostic injuries during the First World War. Now, in the last days of her, Marie Curie died on July 4 in the age of 1934. from complications related to the prolonged explanation to the radiation that she had, a risk she might not have fully understood at that time. Despite this tragedy, her legacy lives inspiring countless scientists and researchers, especially women, to follow careers in science and push to find new knowledge to the science. Now we are going to see some of the prize and awards that she won.
Marie Curie, one of the most prominent scientists in history, received numerous awards and recognition for her pioneering contributions in the field of radioactivity. Some of the most notable awards she received include Nobel Prize in Physics in 1903, shared with her husband Pierre Curie and Henri Becquerel for their pioneering research on radioactivity. Nobel Prize in Chemistry in 1911, awarded solely to Marie Curie for her discoveries in the field of radiochemistry, especially the identification of the elements radium and polonium. Navy Medal from the Royal Society, received in 1903 for her outstanding contribution to the field of chemistry. Foreign honorary member of the Russian Academy of Science, awarded in 1905. Elected as the first female member of the French Academy of Medicine in 1922. Marie Curie has been honored with museums, statues, and other monuments around the world. Some of the places dedicated to her memory include Curie Museum in Paris, France. This museum is located in the former home of Marie Curie and Pierre Curie, where they conducted much of their pioneering research on radioactivity. The museum houses documents, laboratory equipment, and other objects related to their lives and work. Curie Institute in Paris and other locations in France. Founded by Marie Curie in 1914, the Curie Institute remains a leading research center in the study of cancer and radiotherapy. A statue of Marie Curie in Warsaw, Poland. There is a statue of Marie Curie located in the Seren's Garden in Warsaw, her hometown. It was erected in 1935 to commemorate her scientific achievement. Museum of Science and Industry in Chicago, USA. The museum hosts an exhibition dedicated to Marie Curie, highlighting her contribution to science and her legacy as one of the most influential scientists in history. Monumental to Marie Curie in Vienna, Austria. This monument, located in the Vienna Science Park, pays tribute to Marie Curie and her husband Pierre Curie. The importance and relevance of Marie Curie today are enormous and encompass various aspects. Marie Curie is an icon of women's struggle for equality in the scientific field. Her remarkable career and achievements have inspired many women to pursue careers in science, technology, engineering, and mathematics, and her legacy continues to be a source of motivation for future generations of female scientists. Discoveries in the field of radioactivity have had a profound impact on science and medicine. Her research on radioactivity led to the development of techniques for diagnosing and treating cancer, as well as significant advances in physics and chemistry. Marie Curie challenged the social norms of her time by dedicating herself to science at a time when it was extremely rare for women to have scientific careers. Her bravery and determination paved the way for women in science and helped change perception about the role of women in society and scientific research. Legacy in the fight against cancer. Marie Curie research on radiation laid the groundwork for radiotherapy, a vital technique in cancer treatment.
Now, to conclusion, Marie Curie faced numerous of challenges as a female scientist in a male-dominated field, but her perseverance, dedication, and brilliant mind led to profound scientific contributions. Her work laid the foundations for the study of radioactivity and had lasting impact on medicine, chemistry, and physics. Well, this is all for our presentation. Thanks for your attention.